happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Today we got another huge update. I know you guys could probably already tell it is going down. Just by that title alone, guys, definitely gonna want to see this as we're witnessing yet another explosion on the set. Fox News is the 5 that Jessica Tarlov is back at it again. It seems like ever since the outcome of the 2024 election, Donald Trump, the landslide victory over Kamala Harris, her symptoms and side effects of that TDS, Trump derangement syndrome, have just continued to grow and grow and grow until she's working her way out the door of Fox News is the 5, guys. I'm excited to get into this one, so we're not straight into it. So make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Before we get into it, you guys, hit that like button, also hit that subscribe button for your boy. And without further ado, let's hop straight into it, folks. Check this one out.
So we're going to take it on the table here. Judge, let's start with you. The one thing about this pardon is how sweeping it is.
Oh, yeah.
Like a whole 11 years, like anything that he did within that time frame.
Did you notice that?
It's crazy.
I certainly did.
And some of those years encompass the years that David Weiss, as a so-called special counsel now, I think he is, allowed the statute of limitations to run in the highest earning years that Hunter Biden had, and the years that certainly involved his father and his business dealings. Look, they've done everything they can to try to cover up what they did. They have denied, they have lied. Joe Biden started out this presidency by saying, I know nothing about my son's businesses, and he's ending his presidency by lying again and pardoning his son. The bottom line here is that they're afraid of something. They're afraid of the Trump Justice Department being weaponized and going after Hunter for things that David Weiss did not indict him for. Only Donald Trump can speak to that issue. But let me just say a couple things, Dana, and I'll be very quick here. Look, they knew that jail time was coming for Hunter Biden. He's convicted of 2 felonies, not one,
Absolutely.
2. And if Joe Biden says there's no reasonable prosecutor who would look at these facts and reach the same conclusion, he was singled out because of my son. Well, if he was singled out because he was your son, why didn't you fire Merrick Garland? If the Justice Department is so selective in their prosecutions, fire the guy that you hired. OK, let's talk about the fact that he's always said that no one is above the law. Hunter Biden is a classic example of someone who's above the law because he was never even sentenced. Most of the pardons that we hear about are pardons where someone has served their time, they paid their debt to society, and they're going to end up, getting it removed. It's an impediment going forward. Not this case. We won't even know what his sentence would have been. And then for him to call out the media and selective prosecution is absurd. A jury found him guilty. Are you saying that you don't believe in the jury system anymore, Mr. President? And by the way, is your son stupid? He pled guilty to 6 tax evasion counts. So if that's selective prosecution, why didn't he take it to trial and say, this is a selective prosecution? So look, it's all about Joe Biden lying. He's starting and ending his presidency in the same way.
And Charlamagne,
Wow, guys, Judge Jeanine, she's hitting it right on the head, though, where she said Joe Biden, Hunter Biden know exactly what they're doing. This sweeping pardon goes back 11 years. There's obviously something they don't want us to know. They're going to take that to the grave, excusing his son, saying that no one is above the law for, so long. I feel like everyone on the left, as Donald Trump was going through what he's been going through, the political witch hunt, the charade cases, everyone's saying that no one is above the law. Donald Trump should, have to stand trial or, stay in court, fight these cases because he's not above the law. But then we see Hunter Biden. This guy has committed every crime underneath the sun, tax evasion. He was an addict. With the firearm. I mean, he was waving around. I don't even want to get off into the laptop. And then you go pardon him. So no one's above the law, but then we see your son get walking scot-free for all of his crime. I mean, it just doesn't make sense.
and Charlamagne, the God, said this today, Jessica, if we had play that for everyone.
I just want Democrats to stop acting like they are on this moral high ground politically when they have shown us they're not, whether it's skipping the primary process when Biden stepped down and things like
Charlamagne
pardoning his son.
This says a lot, though, to hear Charlamagne. I mean, come on now. He's supposed to be with them on the left. He's coming out and saying, we can't act like we're on some kind of Democratic high ground right now. Come on, y'all.
Reaction from the left on this. Where do you sit?
Yeah, there is. And I think that a lot of people are doing political jockeying, right? Like if I'm thinking about running in the future, I want to be on record as saying this is an abuse of power. And maybe we should have a larger conversation about presidential pardons because it seems like they're perhaps too sweeping and that on your way out, you can just about do anything. I think that for a lot of rank and file Democrats, they actually would rather see Joe Biden do this because this feels like Mitch McConnell vibes, someone who's like, we're not going to see Merrick Garland before Donald Trump comes into office, and I'm going to make sure that Supreme Court seat is open. It has more backbone than they're used to seeing from Joe Biden.
This is not backbone, guys. They're saying this is backbone from Joe Biden pardoning his son, guys. This is a big old middle finger, I feel like, to our nation, to the Constitution. This guy does not have to stand or face any of his consequences ever. He's never been held accountable. You go back in Hunter Biden's track record, guys. And I'm sorry I'm getting so animated. It just gets underneath my skin. You know, we go out and commit a simple crime. You could be facing 5 years. This guy has done everyone underneath the book almost, and he has no consequences, no penalty for his action. It's crazy. And this is backbone from Joe. That's crazy.
We're not going to see Merrick Garland before Donald Trump comes into office, and I'm going to make sure that Supreme Court seat is open. It has more backbone than they're used to seeing from Joe Biden. He should have always said maybe, though, about this. It was, and I said, you guys asked me, well, do you believe him? And I said, I have no reason.
He should have said maybe. Oh, my goodness. He said he wasn't doing it from the jump. He said no one is above the law when Donald Trump was going through what he was going through. And now he flip-flops just like his VP, who we tried to have step in for. I mean, come on, y'all.
About this. It was, and I said, you guys asked me, well, do you believe him? And I said, I have no reason not to believe him, but you would think that any parent would be thinking in the back of their mind, I don't want my kid to go to jail. And if it's true what Karine Jean-Pierre said about the timing of this, I'm sure that this weekend the news rolled in that Charles Kushner is going to be the ambassador to France, a very cushy job, someone who was pardoned for what Chris Christie, who prosecuted him, called one of the most loathsome and disgusting crimes. I mean, the guy videotaped.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, but the juxtaposition
well, he
of
served
that,
time, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he served
did.
time.
Okay.
Kushner did.
So here we go. Jessica Tarlov looking crazy again, y'all. She's getting ready. They always do that. Try to deflect. They try to divert it. Pivot to someone else's case and try to compare apples to oranges, guys. This is not the same case. These other folks, they serve their time, they get their pardon, they're trying to get their slate wiped clean. Other hand, this guy Hunter Biden is simply dodging all accountability, any type of consequence that could have came for his action. It's not the same thing. Listen to her.
Well, he served time, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
He
served
did.
time.
Okay.
Kushner did. He paid his debt to society.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
the end of it.
And the NBC News report, Jessica, says that this is NBC News saying that Biden was saying publicly, of course I'm not going to pardon
Right,
him.
while
But
he
that
was-
Exactly.
privately having conversations saying, of course it's on the table. And this is why no one believed him anyway. Now all the lies, I had the 4 lies, I'm going to add the 5th lie. And this is the one.
I don't disagree with it. He should have just always said, maybe, I don't know. I have to see where the chips fall on this. But one of the messages that came out of the election was that voters don't think Donald Trump is a unique threat to democracy. They don't care about norms or any of the things that Democrats were campaigning on. And I think that Joe Biden just essentially said, on my way out, I don't care anymore. And I'm just going to protect my kid.
Okay. I'm not sure I'm buying all of that.
On my way out, I don't care anymore. This right here shows you how the left really truly feels about our nation right here. Joe Biden just simply not caring anymore. You know, they snatched the, I guess this whole campaign out of his hand, took the controller, gave it to Kamala Harris. Joe Biden just has an attitude with the nation at this point.
Democrats were campaigning on. And I think that Joe Biden just essentially said, on my way out, I don't care anymore. And I'm just going to protect my kid.
Okay. I'm not sure I'm buying all of that, but I want to hear what you think.
I'd protect
Jesse?
my kid if Jesse Jr. did something bad.
But you
I'd
probably
pardon
wouldn't
him.
let him be on the board of Burisma and send you a check for $300.
Probably not.
You
I
would be your
wouldn't.
bag man.
I
Jesse
wouldn't
would
need the
definitely let
money.
him do that.
I wouldn't need the money like Joe Biden's family, who couldn't make
Do you
an
make
honest
that
buck.
much?
It's prime time.
Maybe my mom wouldn't pardon me, but I'm sure my father would. But that's the point, is that everybody knew he was going to pardon his son.
Right.
Even Jessica knew. Well, you didn't expect Joe Biden to lie? The man's lied his whole career, Jessica. Politicians lie. I mean, Democrats are now trying to wrap their heads around the fact that we're like, well, maybe we're not the party of moral superiority. Maybe we're not the party of Democrat ideals and principles. How many lies can you guys take? They lied about the laptop, the lab leak, the coup, now the pardon. Even Democrats are saying, I don't feel so great about these guys saying that they're the party of principle anymore. This guy and all the rest of these politicians prove time and time again, they're just like the regular, sleazy, scummy, corrupt politicians. They'll do anything.
So they're just like Trump.
They'll do anything. All politicians lie to protect their.
Oh my, you hear Jessica? She is going at anything. You hear logic, you hear reasoning coming from Jesse Waters saying it's put a very bad, bitter taste in the left's mouth. You know, they're seeing this and they're like, I don't think this is a backbone. This guy, that was another spineless act from this guy, Joe Biden. I don't know if I can put up with this party for much longer. Then Jessica comes in, chime and talk about Donald Trump. Oh my, listen to her.
Time and again, they're just like the regular, sleazy, scummy, corrupt politicians. They'll do anything.
So they're just like Trump.
They'll do anything. All politicians lie to protect their families, to protect their power, protect their money, Jessica. And anybody with a brain could see this coming a mile away. The difference is Trump wouldn't have lied about it. Trump comes in and Trump's like, yeah, I'm going to pardon J6ers. I'm going to fire the FBI director.
Facts.
And I'm going to recess appoint my cabinet if the Senate gives me trouble. And you know what? He probably will. And people respect that. We want people that keep promises, not people who break promises. And this just proves the entire term was a cover-up. As the judge said, a blanket pardon to 14? Oh, just when the portfolio for Ukraine got handed to the big guy? What's that about, Jessica? Why would he need to go back that far? Think about it. This whole setup that they had was a big money laundering scheme. He'd go around the world, sell access to his dad, and then the FBI and the CIA would look to see who was trying to scam the U.S. government. And then ever notice that everybody around Hunter Biden is either in prison or on federal wiretaps? This whole thing was an intelligence operation.
When Jared Moskowitz asked James Comer, he said, I'll do it. Let's impeach Joe Biden. And James Comer flipped out, and no Republicans wanted to go on record about impeaching him because they didn't have it.
Listen to her,
Trump
y'all.
got impeached for looking into what Joe just pardoned his son for.
Yeah, but
You guys said it's okay for foreign nationals to bribe a first family?
Yeah, but how
And
many
as long as it doesn't hit the
politicians-
guy's checking account, and then a check hits the checking account, and you're like, oh, I don't know.
Yo, there we have it, guys. Oh my goodness. We just see how far out false reality that Jessica Tarlov lives in, where she's just so bought and sold on this whole Hunter Biden, Joe Biden thing. We all knew what was going to happen at the end of the day. Jesse Waters broke it down brilliantly. He said we all knew that Hunter Biden was going to get the pardon, but it's the transparency thing. You know, Donald Trump comes in. He's not hiding the fact that he's going to pardon the J6ers, those who came in there and they were wrongfully prosecuted. He's already stated that, you know, it's the transparency factor that, you know, just it doesn't match up with those on the left. Joe Biden and a lot of people who have voted Democrat for some time now are getting kind of just a sour, bitter taste in their mouth behind this whole situation where we're getting word there was closed door talks that it was on the table. He may pardon his son. But then when it came to the media and the public, all we heard from Joe Biden was nobody is above the law. That was his infamous quote, no one is above the law. And then he specifically stated that he would not be pardoning his son, Hunter Biden. Come time, he does pardon his son, flip-flopping and not being honest, forthcoming with the people, which just goes to show, you know, his administration, Kamala included, would have been bad for our nation. Guys, definitely hop in the comment section and let me know your thoughts. Also, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you enjoy more content like this, catch you guys on the next one. We